Hi, everybody. David Law here with another trailer reaction. This time it is Wicked for Good, part 2 of Wicked. I say we because I'm not alone. Also doing this reaction with me is Bobby Jackson. How's it going, Bobby?
Going good. I'm looking forward to this trailer reaction.
How are you?
I am. I say that because of the first movie. It was a surprise for me, I think, going into it because I knew of the play. I never saw the play. So I don't know anything of what's going to happen. But I liked the first movie enough to where when it ended, I would have gone and watched the second movie if it had been out at that time. So for me, it's like, all right, we're getting this second part. I'm kind of curious as to what's going to take place in this second movie. I have no idea. So I'm excited to kind of get a glimpse of what this second movie is supposed to be about.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first movie quite a bit. I did see the stage musical once,
Mm.
and it's been, I wish I could remember exactly how long it's been. It hasn't been that long, but at the same
That you
time, it's
seen it?
that I saw the stage musical.
Yeah.
I mean, it was before the first movie. It was like
Okay.
probably a year or so, or maybe a couple years before the first movie came out. I'm trying to remember how long it's been,
Mm.
but it's been long enough that even though I do remember the rest of the story and I do know
Mm.
the main beats of the rest of the story, there are things about it now that I'm like, I am kind of forgetting. And it makes me even more curious to see part 2, which again, I guess now is called Wicked for Good. I say now because I mean, I don't think that was the original intention, or at least that's not the impression they were giving us. I mean, the first
Yeah.
movie was just marketed as Wicked, and then when the title card comes up in the film, it's called Wicked Part 1. Part of me imagines that's the same way this movie is going to play out, that when the title card pops up, it's actually just going to say Wicked Part 2, but maybe not. I don't
Oh,
know.
interesting.
And really, they're just marketing at it as Wicked for Good.
It is a weird thing because I do remember, like you're saying, that they did kind of change it up. It didn't seem like that was the initial intention to be naming it this way.
Right.
Because when you have something as the first one and it's called part one, and then the second one is like a name of something
Right.
or just, a phrase, it seems clunky in the way of naming it. It's kind of like, okay, so when we just had the Mission Impossible movies come out, we had Mission Impossible, and then initially it was what, something part one, and then they decided to change it to
Mm.
whatever, I forget what it is, and
Yeah,
then
it
this one
was
is Final Reckoning.
for Final Reckoning. It was
So
Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part
there you
2, I
go.
think was originally.
Yeah, so at least you dropped the part one, part two thing, and you still have a title. It's Dead Reckoning, and then now you have Final Reckoning. So it was almost like they should go back and rename the first movie for Wicked. I don't know what they would name it. I mean, if this one's for evil or for good, maybe the other one should have been for evil
For
or
Evil.
something. I don't
Yeah.
know. So it could at least distinguish it in that way. But yeah, it'll be interesting if they keep that convention all the way through. If the first one will still just be Wicked Part One, and this one's just going to be Wicked for Good.
I'm going to stick with the prediction that I think they're going to actually, on the title card, it's going to say Wicked Part 2. And
Okay.
really, this is just the way it's being marketed. And yeah, when it comes out on DVD and streaming, it'll be called Wicked for Good. But for the film, and I kind of hope they do it that way because that's what they did with the first film. And I kind of just hope they stick with that. But anyway, that's just me being maybe weird. I don't know. Well, let's get to it. I'm sure
Yeah.
everyone wants to see us react to this trailer, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, of course. So, are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I should probably bring it up first so we can actually see it. So, here we go.
Alpha Bathrop, I know you're out here. Just come in before the monkeys spot you.
It was nice.
Going back.
Mhm.
This is between us, the wizard and I.
The Wicked Witch can't elude us forever. Not with Prince Fiero and his squadron hot on her trail.
Huh.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. No one believed in you more than I did.
Elphaba. They're coming for you.
That's interesting to me.
That people come into our lives for a reason. I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Think of what we could do together. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun. Like a seashell by a skybird in a distant world.
Oh, there's some Dorothy in there.
Yeah.
Haven't changed one bit.
Bring me the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West.
For a while there, I thought you changed.
I have changed.
It's time
Huh.
for both of us.
To fly! Because I knew you.
You're the only friend I ever had.
Because I knew you. And I've had so many friends. I have been changed for good. But only one that mattered.
I'm off to see the wizard.
On November 21st. Okay.
November 21st. All right.
I've got questions.
Questions that I have
Okay.
to bounce around answering.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So first question is in that trailer, so we see there's this actual aspect of her being on the run that you kind of get from the end of the first movie, that she's been painted as this wicked witch, and so everyone's after her.
Mhm.
And then my first question is, why does Glinda, right?
Glinda.
Is the good. Yeah. Why
She's
does
no longer
Glinda?
she's no longer Galinda. She's just Glinda now.
Got it. Okay. So why does she seem to be going along with this idea that she's a wicked witch, as opposed to kind of spreading the word and saying, "Hey, she's misunderstood. This wasn't, this is all a big misunderstanding." I don't know that you can answer that.
I can't
But it just
answer that.
seems, but it just seems weird that she's going along with it, knowing, but like keeping her as her friend in secret, as opposed to kind of speaking out for her on her behalf. If she feels like she's her friend, it just seems kind of weird.
So
So I guess
oh, go ahead.
no, that was it.
I mean, I guess even when you consider the opening scene of the first film, I think it sounds like your perspective is, well, that would be one thing if they weren't actually friends still, but you're confused by, well, it seems like they are still friends. So wait, why, going back to the first movie, why is the first scene the way it is?
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because even if I just remove that first scene, I'm still just thinking in terms of like, okay, that just from what I'm seeing in this trailer, it doesn't seem like she's on board with thinking that she's a bad person, and so she's completely changed her viewpoint. It doesn't seem like she's marked her out of her life and doesn't think that she is going to be someone that she can still call a friend. So in the trailer, it still seems like they're they have that friendship still. So it's just kind of weird, I guess, to me, that if she knows that there's, or if she's friends and she believes her and all these things, then she would advocate for her. But it doesn't seem like it. It just seems like she's just like, well, everyone's against her, so I better not say anything or go and stick up for my friend, because then they'll turn on me as well. And maybe it's a vanity thing, I don't know, but it just seems weird that she, in one hand, looks like she's still friends with her, but on the other hand, she's not doing anything to help her friend in an overt way, it looks like. So that's kind of where I'm a little.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it would, to really kind of talk about it even a little bit, I feel like I would be better that you just experience the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel.
all I'll say is it makes sense.
Okay.
You
All
know,
right.
for the story. It's not like this. If you or anyone watching who hasn't also seen Wicked, is it all like, oh, this doesn't seem like this is going to make sense in the end? I mean, I haven't seen the second movie yet, but based on the musical, it will make sense. So
Okay.
I'll just say
Okay.
that.
I believe it. And I guess the other thing that I was curious about is that it looks like they're carrying over some of those elements from the first movie where they were Elphaba likes the, I can't remember the prince's name or the guy who is there that
yeah.
she liked. It's carrying that over, but it also looked like him and Glinda were getting married, so that seems a little confusing as well. I mean, I guess it's not confusing as much as it looks like it's still playing into kind of a love triangle aspect with even within this movie. So I guess it's not confusing per se. It's just interesting that carries over as well. I wouldn't have necessarily guessed that would have still been an element going into this movie, but yeah, it looks like it does carry over.
It's definitely a part of the second movie for sure. I'll just say that.
All right.
You're talking about Fiyero, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I don't want to say much. Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, that is definitely an aspect to the second half of the musical.
Okay.
I'm definitely curious. I mean, you know, we heard some of the music there from the second half of the musical. But one thing I'm curious to see when the movie comes out is, it's my understanding that there's going to be a new original songs.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
I don't think it's just one. I want to say I thought I heard it's even like a couple, which would make sense to me. Considering how much music is in the first half of the musical. I mean, you can listen to the Broadway recording right now. The second half does not have as much. So I think it would be nice to get some new music, you know, from, was it Stephen Schwartz who wrote the music to Wicked? Am I getting his name right? Anyway,
you would know better than me. You're the music guy. I think you would know better.
But anyway,
overall, you'd like the trailer though?
I like the trailer. I was going to say, even the first full Wicked trailer, I thought was one of those trailers that I just thought it was a really solid trailer, and I probably watched it, I'll admit, more times than I should have, just because it was good. And I like a well done, well cut trailer, and I thought this was pretty good. I mean, that's just one viewing, and I'll definitely probably watch it again tonight, just out of curiosity. But I thought overall it did the job of getting me excited about it. And again, and that's as someone who I fear I don't like the second half of the musical as much. I mean, based on the stage show, but I have a feeling that won't be the case with the movie. I've kind of felt that all along, that I think they're gonna stick the landing really well. But it's tough when you end the first half with Defying Gravity, and it's like that is the heart of the musical, right? And then when you're like going, okay, now we got a whole nother movie after that, it's like, man, how do you follow that up? and that's the part that's had me a little somewhat fearful, but I do think they'll stick the landing. I think they're going to do something with this that's maybe even slightly different than the stage show. Not this, and I'm not poo-pooing the stage show. I think the stage show is great. I really enjoyed it, but I think they will have to do something different to make a whole separate second film like work.
Well, and maybe some of what could bring it home is some of that new original music, and
Yeah.
maybe they've gotten something that will really benefit the two stars of the movie, and it can play to their strengths and give us something new that people will love and that's different from the musical play. So there's that part as well. But I think the other thing that's got me curious about it, and if I didn't state, I actually do really like this trailer a lot,
Oh yeah,
and I'm
not to ask.
looking forward to it in terms of. I don't know. I can't sit here and say, oh, it's got me even more hyped to go see it. I still feel like I'm right at the same level as I was, but now I'm like, okay, I'm looking forward to it
Mhm.
in the way that now I get answers to some of these questions that I had just from watching this trailer. But especially another question that I have is how much of a role does Dorothy and all the other characters from The Wizard of Oz play into this in terms of this second half of this movie? We Well, I was going to say we know their story, but then I have to keep reminding myself that this isn't The Wizard of Oz, and it's a reinterpretation of it or a different
Kinda, yeah.
interpretation of the story. So I don't necessarily know what's going to
Right.
happen with those characters and everything. So it makes me more intrigued to see that story play out in this format. So I think those elements all around, just from the strength of the first movie that I really liked, and then all the different questions I have going into this one, has me in a way more intrigued by the second half of how exactly this landing is. And I won't know whether it stuck it or not in terms of how everyone else is viewing it through maybe a lens of having seen the play, but I can at least say from a movie standpoint whether or not it went from the first half and then concluded in a satisfactory way in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What is the date again? November 21st?
November 12th. Oh,
November
I thought it was
12th. It's let's see, now I gotta look just to make sure we're telling everybody the right thing. It is the 21st. That's what I'm seeing.
21st,
November
my bad.
21st. So we still got some time, but we'll
Yeah,
get there.
yeah, we will. The way this year is going, we'll be there in no time.
Yeah. But anything else before we wrap it up, I guess?
No,
don't really have
I guess
anything.
we'll be there on the 21st. Looking
Be there on
forward to
the
it.
21st. There'll probably be another trailer at some point. I don't know. Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we'll decide to skip the next trailer. I guess we'll see. But I think you and I have some other trailer reactions coming up here on the channel. So look out for those. And with that, thanks for watching. I'm David Lott.
I'm Bobby Jackson.
Good to have you. Make sure to like and subscribe, by the way. And leave any comments or your thoughts about the trailer as well down below. We'd love to hear from you. So yeah, with that, bye everybody.
See ya.